A very good morning to all of you class 8. Welcome back to this English class. This is your personal study, and although it is a English 2 class, we will read a lesson from your English supplementary book. Okay, this would be from English supplementary book, Princess September. So now this Princess September, this is the last lesson which will be part of the English term 1 syllabus. I would want all of you to please go through this lesson. Today I will give you not a brief reading. I'll just give you a summary of the lesson and explain the story to you. The learning outcome of our story would be, our lesson would be to nurture critical thinking and develop enhanced vocabulary with use of dictionary. Okay, so I would want all of you to please also use dictionary in case if you are not able to understand any word. Princess September, lesson number 5 from your English supplementary book. Now this is the story of a king and a queen of Siam. Siam was what is known as Thailand now. It was formerly known as Siam. So he had 9 daughters, and this would confuse the king and the queen because they had so many daughters. So the king decided to call them from January to February. So January, February, March, April, and the 9th daughter was September, the youngest, whom they call September. And the king had a very peculiar habit that instead of receiving gifts on his birthday, he would give gifts. And on one of his birthday, since the prince did not have anything, the king did not have anything handy. So what did he give? He gave a green parrot in a golden cage to his daughters, to all the princes. So the princes were very happy and very proud with their parrot, and all of them give some teaching. They started training their parrots, and the parrots could say "God save the king," and some of them could say "Pretty Polly." These were the 2 sentences they could speak in no less than 7 Oriental language. Oriental means which is from Asia. Okay, from Asia. So these parrots could speak these 2 sentences: "God save the king" and "Pretty Polly." Now here one day when Princess September went to say good morning to her parrot, she found that the parrot was dead, and she was very attached to her parrot. So she had she got very emotional, and she started crying, and she would not eat anything. And so the maid of honor are people who take care of princes, the ladies or the women who take care of who attend to the princes. They tried their best, but they could not comfort the princess. So they reported the matter to the queen, and the queen also did not take it very seriously. She said that it is just a stuff and nonsense. That means she's just throwing unnecessary tantrum. So better go to bed without supper. So she said that better send her to bed without supper. So they let the princess sleep without having dinner. And the maid of honor also, she wanted to attend a party, so she quickly made the princess sleep and she went to attend the party. Then what happened was, while she was sleeping, while she lay lying down in her bed, and she was crying, although she felt hungry, she saw a little bird hop into her room. So there's a small little bird which jumped into her room. She wiped her tears and sat up. Then the little bird began to sing, and sang a very beautiful song about the lakes. I want you to just underline few lines here. She started singing about the lake in the king's garden and the willow trees, and so the bird was singing very beautiful song. Now what happened was, the princess, she stopped crying and she forgot all about her hunger. Then she said, "That was a very nice song." The bird gave her a little bow and said, "Would you care to have me in a place of your parrot?" Because the bird also knew that Prince September had lost her bird. The youngest prince had lost her bird. So and the bird said, "It's true that I'm not so pretty, but on the other hand, I have a better voice and I can sing you beautiful songs." So Princess September was very happy, very delighted, and then the bird hopped onto the end of a bed and sang her to sleep. So now the Princess September has a new pet. When she woke up next day, the bird was still there, and as she opened, the bird greeted her good morning, and the maids of honor, when they come to they bought her breakfast. The bird, he ate rice out of the princess hand, and he had bath in her saucer, and then sang very beautiful song that all the maids were also quite surprised. They had never heard anything so beautiful as the bird's song. Now Princess September was very proud of it. Then she said that I want to show off, show you to my 8 sisters. And Princess September, she stretch out her first finger, and the bird perched on it. Perch out means to sit on it. And then followed by the maid, they went through the palace showing the bird to everybody. And the bird was singing different song to different princes. And but the parrots could only say God Save the King and Pretty Polly. When she showed her bird to the prince and to the king and the queen, they were quite surprised and very happy. The queen says that I was right, that I send you to bed without supper. Now the king said that the birds sings much better than the parrots. Then the queen says that I think you were tired of listening to the parrot saying God Save the King, and I can't think why those girls wanted to teach this parrots their parrot to say it too. That means even the people are saying God Save the King. Now even the parrots are saying God Save the King. So the queen is saying that I know that I thought that you will be very tired of people saying that, so I'm surprised why did all the princes had to teach this particular line to their parrots. So the king says the sentiment is admirable. Here sentiment is admirable, that means the king says that I respect their sentiments. They wanted to show their respect, and they wanted to show their love for me, but I understand I appreciate their sentiments, but I never mind how often I hear it, but I do get tired of those parrots saying Pretty Polly. So this is what he says, that one thing he says that I really don't mind, I never mind when people say God Save the King, but then he says that when the parrot says Pretty Polly, that really I get tired of it. So this is how they counsel the king and queen. They were also quite happy, and they were quite delighted with the pet Princess September had. Now here the king says that the princess says they say it in 7 different languages, said the princess. This is the comment made by the 7 princes, that when the king said that when the parrots say Pretty Polly, he gets little tired of it, but then the princess says that but they say it in 7 different languages. The king said, yes, but it reminds me too much of my counselors. That means his ministers, his counselors. They say the same thing in 7 different ways, but it never means anything in any way they say it. So he says that your 7 parrots remind me of my 7 counselors, because they say the same thing in 7 different languages. So this was the conversation they had. The princes were vexed, means angry, and the parrots looked very glum indeed, very serious. Okay, and so the other princes, all the 8 other princes, were quite jealous of Princess September's new pet. And Princess September, she ran along all the palace, and then the bird was singing like a lark. So this is how she spent her day. Things went on like this for several days, and the 8 princes put their heads together. Put their heads together means to plan something together, because they were getting really jealous of Princess September new pet, because the pet could sing much better. Even the king and queen and everybody admired Princess September's new bird. They went to September and sat down in a circle around her, and so they have now decided they have planned something to get rid of this pet. They went to her and they said, poor September, poor sister, we are sorry for the death of your beautiful parrot. You must be feeling very bad. So we all have decided to pull in our pocket money, and we will buy you a lovely green and yellow parrot. Then Princess September say, thank you for nothing. I have a pet bird which sings the most charming songs to me, and I don't know what on earth would I do with a green yellow parrot. So this girl, Princess September says that I have a very good pet with me. I have which sings the best songs, most charming. So I don't need a new pet. Well, then they said, it's absurd to talk of your bird when the little fellow flies in and out just as he likes. So now this princess, they had planned out something. So they tell her that, it is absurd. That means it does not make sense that you talk of your bird, because your bird is free. It can come and go anytime it wants to. They asked, where is your bird? Then princess says that he has gone to pay a visit to his father-in-law. And then they say, what makes you think that he will come back? September says that she always come back. Then they say, well, my dear, if you take our advice, why you don't run any risk like that. If he comes back this time, mind you, if he comes back, only if he comes back, then pop him in a cage. That means keep him in a cage and keep him there. That is the only way you can be sure that you have a pet. Otherwise it will fly and will not come back. So Princess September says, but I like to have her flying around the room. Then sister says, safety, you have to take care of her safety. And then they left her. Now Princess September is little she is little disturbed that now her bird has been away for a long time. Now she got really worried that what will happen if she is harmed, or something has she is into trouble, or she might have got eaten by hawks and by other animals. Or then she thinks, or he might just forget, and he might fancy to the bird might go and stay with someone else. So these are the thoughtful, very troubling thoughts Princess September has in her mind. But then suddenly the bird comes back, and Princess September was very happy, delighted to see the bird back. Then Princess September says, I wonder what happened to you. What took you such a long time? Bird says, I thought you would be worried. My father-in-law was giving a party. They all wanted me to stay, but I thought you will be so anxious, so worried. That's why I came back. Now this sentence did not go down very well with Princess September, because as it is, she was very worried, and what her sisters had told her that she should be more careful with the bird, and she should confine her, keep her in a cage, otherwise he will never return. So this thought again, it was troubling her already. So September felt her heart go thump against her chest. That means her heart go thump against her chest. That means she suddenly had this very uncomfortable feeling, and she thought that what my sisters had warned me could come true, and she made up her mind, and she put the bird in a cage. Now the bird thought that this is just a joke for some time, and then she asked, why are you putting me into the cage? The Princess September said, my mama's cat is crawling about at night, and I don't want you to be harmed, so I think you'll be safer inside. Well, the bird says that, okay, fine, so as long as you let me out in the morning. So the bird was quite comfortable, and the bird spent the night in the cage, and everything went down well. Now in the morning, what happened? The bird said that, let me out of the cage, and he tried to slip out of the cage, but Princess September would not allow. Princess September said, I will not allow you. It is for your safety that you have to stay inside the cage. Now this made the bird very, 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 very sad, and the bird would not eat anything, would not drink anything, and would not sing. So even when Princess September says that, why don't you sing some beautiful song? The bird says that, how can I sing? I want to see the trees and the lake and the green rice growing in the field. So the Princess September says that, okay, I will take you out every day. But the bird says that, seeing things from inside this cage is very different than what you when you see them, when you fly and you see them from above. So the bird is not happy with the offer Princess September has given her. But Princess September is very firm that the bird will be inside the cage. Then the bird refused to eat anything, and then one day what she finds out that the dead when she woke up, she found the bird dead. So Princess September was very worried and she regretted it so much. She took out the bird out of the cage and she started crying. A tear, her tear dropped on the bird, and the bird came back to life. Then she said, I cannot, the bird said that, the bird slowly opened his eyes and said, I cannot sing unless I'm free, and if I cannot sing, I would rather die. Princess was very sad for what she has done. Then she says that, then take your freedom, and I shut you in a golden cage because I love you and wanted to have you all for myself. But I never thought that this taking away your freedom will kill you. So I love you enough to let you be happy and be on your own. And she threw the windows open and let the bird fly out. Now princess says that, come and go as you will. The princess says, I will never confine you to a cage. Bird flies away and then returns back also. So the bird is not confined but comes and goes as he wish. And the princess kept the window open every night for the bird to come in and go. Now this keeping the window open at night did her very good. She became more beautiful. She grew more beautiful. And what happened to the other princes? Eight princes. They did not open their windows, and they did not give fresh air to themselves, and they did not free their bird. So eventually what happened was, because of the lack of the fresh air and because of lack of having open mind, they did not grow as beautiful as Princess September. So when they all grew up, Princess September was married off to the king of Cambodia, while the rest of her 8 sisters were married off to counselors with a pound of tea and Siamese cat. So this is a tale from Thailand. Not difficult, very simple story. I would want all of you to please go through this story, and in the next live class we will do once again a quick revision, and we'll discuss the question answers. Thank you.